We got Richard in the UK has a question about religion. Richard, what's going on? Oh, did I lose Colin Studio again? This is the second time in this broadcast. Oh my gosh! Here I am drawing attention now to tech failures. The producers are going to yell at me after the show.
Recording it.
Well, it's all good. I can say one thing real fast while we have time. I don't know for anyone that like watches this now and they have these kind of issues. I don't like me and Kenneth can't give you like the best advice or we can't even say that it's probably good advice, but you're gonna have to know when you come in and you ask, like, you're gonna know these people and their character, and so any of the advice I would want to say is always take that with the caveat of who the person is, because only you know how they'll react to specific questions or things that people tell you. Hey, maybe this might work. Maybe it won't. Maybe it's the worst thing you ever tried, and so you will know that. So
and if you've got to work stuff out with your spouse or partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, like maybe talk to a therapist and not a couple of random assholes on YouTube.
Great point. I was trying to like keep the professional illusion of that. I was kidding.
We want to help.
Seek real help. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
We are not real help. So yeah. Do we have Richard?
We do. Hello.
Hey, oh my gosh. Thank the Lord. The Lord being Colin Studio. Richard, what's going on? What's the question?
Things must be getting bad if you're thanking the Lord for my contribution.
Always.
So I was interested because we have a lot of Christian callers to this show. Not so many of different religions, and I'm guessing we do have quite a lot of listeners from other religions. So I wanted to try and encourage them to call in by asking if you think any one religion has more likelihood of being true than another one, and how we can assess that, what kind of yardstick we can use to assess that.
Likelihood of being true.
I have an answer immediately if Kenneth
dive in. Dive in.
Well, depending on who you're talking to, which I disagree, by the way, but depending on who you're talking to, atheism is a religion. In that case, I think it's the most likely to be true. But no, jokes aside.
You're talking to Matt Powell? Stop it.
Right. But no, I don't think any claim. So the way that, and maybe this might be unfair, like off the bat to people, I don't find that they're good arguments for theism. I don't find that they're good arguments for beliefs that haven't been substantiated. So I think it's like kind of loaded in if someone asks like, which one's more likely? The question I'll ask is like, if we're talking about like theoretical virtues or something, like the way we kind of look at history, which is like abduction, right? Like what's most likely to be true. I don't think it's a good way to assess things that we can use empirical evidence to figure out, because we could just appeal to the empirical evidence. In that case, none of them are more likely. If you were just to look at what the data we have and assess that and go, well, this is all the data we have, which one's most likely? None of them are more likely. And so for me, it just doesn't matter, because the question to me is like, it's assuming that they've done something to warrant, in my opinion, good evidence in any case, which from my perspective, any evidence that's been given by any religion that I've seen so far, could be presented to me obviously in the future. It's not that this breaks, but I can undermine what the theory is with a naturalistic theory or some other theory. Like the last week we had someone call about simulation, right? You can just undermine that with like, what if we're in a dream, or what if we're in, it's a brain in a vat, right? You can just undermine these theories with other theories because they all explain the same data, and they don't actually do what science does, which is make a model and provide something in the future. None of these religions that I've seen even tries to do that. So I don't think that they're even on the right course yet. I don't think they've adopted the right methodology yet.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but there's another thought. I'm trying to word how I want to say this. I think we can look at certain religions And I mean, no religion is, to the best of my knowledge, has met its burden of proof. But in addition to that, we can look at certain religions as being much, 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 much less likely to be true, given what we know about them. I mean, if we were to look at something like Scientology, you know, that's a pretty new religion. We can really look at the origins of that religion and its tradition and its structure. We can look at quotes from its founder about how, you know, the best way to get rich is to make up a religion, and we can go this. In addition to it not meeting its burden of proof, we have a lot of reasons to look at this as like obvious nonsense. And the same could be said of something like, you know, if we're looking at it like in terms of likelihood, you know, maybe we could look at something like Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and we could say, okay, so we've got our Book of Mormon. Okay, our Book of Mormon is taking all of the claims of Judaism and Christianity, and is saying, okay, in addition to wanting you to believe all of that unsubstantiated stuff, we also have this new book from this con man from upstate New York or wherever, and you got to believe all of that stuff too. So when sort of modern religious traditions sort of keep stacking on and creating this like layer cake of unsubstantiated claims, it's like the more that they're asking you to believe without justifying any of it, I think that it's fair to say that there's less and less likely to be, you know, connected to reality in any way. So yeah, while say like Judaism or like, you know, monotheistic religious traditions, you know, that something like the Mormons build on, they're unsubstantiated. There's no reason to believe any of that stuff is true. The Mormons ask you to go one further, so would be sort of less likely even to be true. So in that sense, I guess you could say like Judaism is more likely to be true than Mormonism. But that's me trying to be like super charitable to to those older religions, I guess, that ask you to believe less things.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I've been talking to a Hindu lady recently, and I'd like your input on this. She's put to me that all religions lead to the same path. There is no one true religion, but they all lead to the same goal, so they're all equally true. So what would be your kind of take on that?
I say it would be, that is exactly the same as saying they're equally false in my mind.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to me for some people who take like perennial philosophy, I believe. It's like kind of that notion of they're all kind of true, I think. And yeah, I find that just to be, hey, have you heard of the laws of logic? And what it means to violate them? That's what it means to present a contradiction. So what they're saying is that, like, if there's the conclusion, right, is all the same, I don't think that's the case. Like, I think we could list out the fact that you should accept Jesus into your heart from Christianity and see that that's in contradiction with other claims from you know, me being eternally with Jesus as opposed to like reincarnated into some other thing.
Yeah.
Right. So like clearly they can't be true at the same time. Right. So one proposition and then the conjunction of the other proposition. Yeah. I don't know how that fits together. It seems to be like an actual contradiction. So
I'll say this: I would be psyched if people from a larger variety of religious traditions called into the show. In fact, I recently like bought some comparative religion books and am trying to get a better knowledge of sort of just all of the different claims that are out there, because I tend to be very focused on Christianity because I grew up in this like super American evangelical world. But yeah, I think that it would make the show better if we had a more sort of diversity of viewpoints and claims with respect to our callers. Absolutely. So yes, if you're listening to this and you are not, one of our more typical callers, there's an open invitation to you to call. We would love to hear what you have to say. Yeah, because at the end of the day, when we're talking about what people believe and why, I mean that's a conversation we can have with anyone, not just Christians. So, yeah. But yeah, thank you,
I agree.
Richard. Yeah, tell your Hindu friends to call us, man.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would be brilliant. It would be remiss just before I go if I didn't mention once more the flagship show of the ACA and tell everybody to go and watch the Non-Profits.
Non-Profits, yes, yeah. Everybody knew exactly what show you were talking about as soon as you said the flagship show of the ACA, which is a good thing. Yeah, absolutely. Wait a minute, are you on the Non-Profits this week?
I'm not on this week.
Okay, all right. Just making sure this isn't one of those like self-serving plugs over here. So, all right.
No, not at all.
All right, Richard. Hey, have a good one. We'll see you over on Non-Profits.
Yeah, you too, guys.
All right. Take care.